Thank you. Thank you. I am so proud to be their teacher. You know, most high school jazz ensembles don't sound like this, especially only a few days into a new school year. It might surprise you to learn that much of my teaching is not about music. While lessons about rhythm, dynamics, articulation, style, improvisation work great for performances like this, that's like teaching to the test. And I don't think that's my real purpose as a teacher or the real purpose of our schools. It's 1987, my junior year as a music education major at Youngstown State University. I walk into a classroom for a course called Education and Society. Professor Jane Van Galen poses the question, why do we have schools? A brief pause, and then we start offering our answers, the obvious ones first. It's to make people smarter, so people can get jobs. She asks us to delve a little deeper, to serve the local economy, to make us globally competitive as a nation. Well, none of us give any wrong answers, so we summarize that the purpose of education is to turn young people into productive members of society. I adopt that as my mission and land my first teaching job. It's finally time to use all those great techniques and principles. I am going to wow my students with my musical knowledge and talent. The kids are going to be so amazed that they'll just open up and let me give them everything they need for success in life. That was the plan. That's not quite how it went down. I thought I was ready to do my job. Did I have content knowledge? Check. Prepared and organized? Check. Show up on time and be dressed appropriately? Check. Do I care about the kids and the work? Check. Something was missing. I was ready, willing, and able to give them lots of things they could use immediately and in their future to make them productive members of society. But they didn't know or care that they even needed these things. See, I was good at my job of being a teacher, but they weren't very good at their job of being students. So I shifted my focus to making them better at doing their jobs, and then it all became clear. The only thing that really matters in education is work ethic. Now, work ethic might look different to me as a music educator than it does to you as a CEO, a supervisor, or an employee. So let's come up with a definition that will work for everyone. Having good work ethic means caring to do your job at least as well as you've been trained to do it. It means being committed to completing your tasks. And it means checking your work and being accountable for your mistakes. If we had to sum it up in a single sentence, work ethic means doing everything you can to meet the expectations of people counting on you to do a job. I have 3 methods for improving work ethic in my students. Leaders in any profession will find these useful. The first and most obvious, tell people what you expect of them. It's very important to explain why things need to be done a certain way and how others are affected by every decision. I've found that it speaks to every human being's need to be accepted by others and to not disappoint them. In my profession, practically every interaction with students is an opportunity to point out how their decisions and their actions affect others. We call them teachable moments. Look for them in your profession. When you have to guide or correct someone, be sure to point out why it's important to do things a certain way. The second method to improve work ethic is to model it. We've all been in situations where someone in charge seems less capable, less responsible, even less competent than their subordinates. They come across as hypocrites. We have a saying in the Boardman Band: if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're in trouble. For me to even have the right to say that to my students, I feel the responsibility to be the first one to show up at any rehearsal or performance. Try to exemplify the work ethic you expect in others. When you fall short, don't make excuses. The third, and I think the best method for improving work ethic, is to practice it. It's a skill. And like any skill, it can be improved with practice. In music, repetition is vital to musical accomplishment. In my program, we've found ways to get reps on all those non-musical skills too. See, students in most high school band programs would consider it a busy year if they performed 25 times. Boardman's busiest students, some of these kids right here, will perform in front of an audience an average of 60 times in any given school year. Now that's 60 opportunities to not only play and sing well, but to show up on time and be dressed in the right uniform, to help carry and set up equipment, to exercise good stage presence, to tear down, pack up, and load the truck after the gig. And in those 60 opportunities, they'll be told what I expect of them, how I want things done, and they'll see me setting an example of how to do the jobs. You know, we're all teachers in some capacity. Whenever you are counting on someone to do something, especially if you have even slightly more authority, you're a teacher. So take an inventory of the tasks and your expectations. Explain how and why you want things done a certain way. Set a good example for others to follow. And then find ways to maximize their opportunity to practice. Practices will become habits. Habits will become character. And when it reaches that point, it transcends the specific task. And that's my whole point. When it's part of a person's character to be good at doing their job, then it does not matter what the job is. Whether it's music, or math, or writing, or plumbing, or bussing tables. The only thing that will matter is doing a job well because others are counting on you to do that. Anyone with that mindset will definitely be a productive member of society. 1, 2, 3, 1.